You're facing trouble in dealing with the listening module, and short answer kind of questions are one of those. You have no clue why do you fall for the wrong answers. We are going to discuss today about short answer kind of questions, so stay tuned for this video for the detailed explanation. Hello everyone, this is your coach Priyanka Kapoor, and in today's video I'm going to take a lesson on the short answer kind of questions in the listening module. But before that, hit the subscribe button right away if you haven't subscribed yet, and also hit the bell icon for the intimations for the coming videos. If you like this video, share it with your friends and also hit the like button. Now coming back to the lesson, today we are going to discuss the short answers kind of questions for the listening module. Now we all know that short answer kind of questions are wherein you would be given a question and you would need to give short answers to those questions. Of course, the audio will be played and you have to find out the answers to these questions through that audio. Now we are going to discuss today the tips and tricks which you can follow to understand, first of all, what are short answers kind of questions, and then implement those tips and tricks in order to get the correct answer. So let's get started. The first one says read the instructions carefully. Now this is really important. Why? Because many a times students get an incorrect answer because they do not read the instructions carefully. Now in my previous video also I had explained that what kind of instructions you would come across when you are dealing with the listening module. But to give you an example again, I'll quickly explain it. Instructions can be like right answer in words not more than 2 words, and or 2 numbers or 1 number. Then in that case, when you are listening to the audio, you have to make sure that your answers do not exceed the word limit or the number limit given in the instructions. So if it says 2 words, then of course your answer cannot be more than 2 words. Let's say whiteboard. But if it says 2 words and 1 number you can include, in that case even if you put a 28 before whiteboard, it is acceptable, it is correct. But if it doesn't, if you answer here beautiful whiteboard, then it is going to be incorrect. Why? Because you have used 3 words here, whereas the instructions said only 2 words. So that's why it's more important for you to read instructions, because through instructions you know that what would be the word limit or the number limit to give your answers. Second tip is speed reading, which comes in every lesson I upload for the listening module, because this is one of the most important tip which students have to follow, that you really need to read fast. Practice it more and more till you become better with that. Read fast, read in mind and read fast. Stay ahead of the audio and read one question in advance. Now what do I mean by that, stay ahead of the audio? Let's say, for example, the audio clip is played and you are listening to it. Simultaneously, you are looking for the answer for question number 1. You found the answer and you wrote it on your question paper. Now don't waste time and quickly skim through the second question, so that when the audio proceeds further, you are able to find out answer to question 2 immediately once you hear it. Let's say you got the answer to question 2 also. Now quickly read through the question number 3. So this way you are going to be one question ahead of the audio. And that is definitely going to help you out to find the correct answer, because you already know that what they are going to ask you in the next question. So that will, even speed reading is going to help you in that. And if you are constantly practicing listening, then your listening ability also is going to improve, and then this is going to really benefit you. So try and do that. Be attentive. Questions will be paraphrased. Very important point. Now, what do I mean by questions will be paraphrased? Whatever question is mentioned here on your question paper, you will not be listening to the same thing in the same way in the audio. What do I mean by that? Your question which is given here, they are going to paraphrase it in some other way. Paraphrase means they're going to say it in some other way without changing the meaning of it when you are listening to the audio clip. So just in case you are thinking while listening to the audio clip that you are going to listen to the same question, the same statement, the same words in your audio clip, you're wrong. You will listen to it but in a different way, because they are going to paraphrase the question. So that also you need to be very attentive for. They will use synonyms in the audio clip. Now this adds on to this. Let's say, for example, here they used a word called beautiful in the question. Now it is not necessary they are going to use the same word even in the audio clip. They might use a synonym. In fact, they will use a synonym. So you can hear words like gorgeous, spectacular, anything which is a synonym of beautiful. So watch out for synonyms in the audio clip. You will not listen to the same words here in the question paper. If there is a mistake of singular, plural, no marks. Now many times students come to me and ask me, ma'am, my answer was correct but still I've got an incorrect for this. Now at times it happens that your answer was correct. What you thought of, that is the answer, but you made a mistake in singular, plural. Let's say, for example, here the answer was tree, but you wrote trees. So it became a plural, whereas the answer was just one tree. So if you do that mistake, there would be no point given to you for that. It is a wrong answer because you made it a plural. So you have to be very attentive and very careful that you are listening to the right thing and you're writing also the same thing, what you've listened. Answer is incorrect if there is a spelling mistake. Now this is also very important. If you are writing a wrong spelling, you will not be given any marks for that. So your spellings have to be really good enough and correct enough in order to get the correct answer. So if you make a, let's say for the same example, for tree, you write T-R-I, try. So in that case, no marks. Alright, so be very careful with your spellings. Use uppercase for answers to be at a safer side. This is a very important tip from my end. You can use uppercase for all your answers in your listening module. It's safe to use that. Why? Because sometimes what happens, there are certain answers which might have proper noun in it. So in that case, you are supposed to write the initials capital. But if you forget that, it is an error. So in order to avoid such mistakes, it is advisable that you use an uppercase for writing all your answers in your listening section. So if I am writing India, it is correct. But if I am writing India, it is wrong. But if I write India, it is also correct, because everything is in the uppercase. So you can do that also. It is going to help you. So these are the tips and tricks in order to deal with the short answers kind of questions in the listening section. Try to understand them, implement them, use them and practice for these. I'm sure it is going to take your scores higher in the listening section. So that's it for today. We'll be coming up with more videos on the listening section only in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and also hit the bell button so that you get an intimation. If you liked the video, then share it and like it. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate and write it in the comment box, and I'll be more than happy to answer all of them. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned for more videos.